I'm Keith's doppelganger. I'm supposed to keep an eye on him. The poor old chap. He always wanted to do a cooking show. He can barely boil water without burning it. But give him A for effort. He's going to give it a try. And he thought today might be a good day to prepare lunch as part of an audition for a show on the big networks. Disappointment. Going down to the pub on a Sunday is traditional for Keith, right after church. He's not a heavy drinker. A couple of halves. He normally finds that is enough. But will it be enough to see him through this Sunday's ordeal? Let's find out.
Now, one of the things that they always look for on these cooking shows is the appearance of the thing. It doesn't just matter whether it's well cooked, which this meal obviously is very well cooked. It is they like to have a little bit of appearance.
Good fresh potatoes. And the greenest peas that you can possibly find growing here. And of course, a lovely piece of fish.
It's dead. Yes, it's dead. Right.
It had better be dead. We don't want to see a piece of fish alive on our plate. I don't think that would win over the judges. At all, at all, at all.
I've just got the smallest pot that I possibly can find. It really needed a small one for these 5 miniature potatoes, but I didn't have a terribly small one, so this is what we're going to have instead. Now, for those of you who are not used to doing exotic cooking like this, it is very important when you do potatoes that you actually put water in the pot. You see, it's water. Now, never forget to put the water in, because if you do, the chances are your potatoes will burn before they cook. So, water, potatoes, pot. Remember, WPP. Water, potatoes, pot. And here they go. We scrubbed them a bit off screen, and there they are. We'll add some salt. Where have we got salt? We've got salt over here. Yes. We'll have a go with the salt. Yes. We'll add some salt to that. My late wife used to cook without salt, but I never got used to it. So we've got a bit of salt in there, and we're ready to, there it is sitting at the bottom, so it'll get nicely stirred up. We'll now put that, and we'll find a lid for it, because a lot of, about 2/3 of the heat disappears, you know, if in fact what you do is you leave it without a lid. But first of all, what we've got to do is we've got to make sure that we've got some fire under it. Is the fire there? So there is. There. So, fire, potatoes, pot, water. All the ingredients for a really fine potato dish. There we go.
And quite a range of herbs, spices, and condiments.
Now, which of these do I use? We have a little experimentation today. A bit of fun. Okay, I've heard the little finger go. So one of the essentials for lunch is a plate. It's absolutely essential that you have a plate. So let's have a look at. Okay, I've heard the little finger go. So one of the essentials for lunch is a plate. It's absolutely essential that you have a plate. So let's now. I think we can see I got my House of Lords mitt. Right, we'll open up the door and we'll have a look. Pull it out. Oh, look at that, magnificent! Absolutely magnificent. Oh, look, those herbs and spices have really cooked themselves into the fish. Oh dear, we've got a problem here because we've got something dripping. Oh, well, we can't have that. Otherwise, we're going to have to clean up the kitchen thing. But what we'll do is, excuse me for a moment, we can't have a meal without having transferred the fish from the oven onto the plate. And there it is. It's looking pretty good. We'll do a nice close-up of it. This camera in the phone today seems to be just a little bit misty. I don't know why. Not its usual standard, but nonetheless, it will do. There, look, oh gosh, could you ever imagine a nicer looking piece of fish? So, right, we'll do this. We'll go and we'll look at all the other things now. Toodly. I've added a full onion. I don't know if it's a Spanish onion or what sort of onion it is. It's not a mini onion, it's not a spring onion, so it's an onion. And we used some lemon, as you'll recall, from the earlier part of the show. So I thought, well, we should let people know that we have used lemon. And there it is. It's just a magnificent piece of lemon. And I think that nobody now could ever doubt the appearance of this particular meal. I think that served like that, it would be intriguing. It would tempt the palate, and undoubtedly would be absolutely magnificent to eat. So we'll try it. Oh, well, that much done. Here's the last little mouthful. Nothing left but that wonderful garnish. Just to remind everybody what a beautiful meal it looked like before it was devoured. Great. I don't know how you did that. Oh, that's magnificent. All on a Sunday afternoon after church and after the pub. I can't believe that I managed to create such a masterpiece and for people to look at. Oh, and see how it was done with all those terrific techniques which don't appear on many other cooking shows. not even the fabled Mary Berry. God bless her, I think that she's absolutely magnificent. You know, those of us who are of a mature age, we really look much better on television than these kids, you know. Oh, well, we won't get into that.
Don't forget the port.
It's been a lovely, lovely lunchtime. Here I got home and I thought, from church, and I thought, gosh, it's got another miserable old Sunday lunch all on my own. But no, I got Keith in, I got doppelganger Keith in, and we went into the kitchen and we have taken every step along the way to make absolutely sure that we provided a first-class meal fit for, well, if not a king, at least fit to go on television and help you to create your own lunch in a style similar to this one. Oh, I have not enjoyed a Sunday lunch as much in a long time with or without people. Oh, do try this. Try it. They say do not try this at home. This is the one to try at home. Have a bit of fun with it. Okay? Ta-ra, I'm going to come next week. I think what I might do is try a little chicken dish next week. We'll see where we get, even if it's only a couple of boiled eggs. All right, till then, ta-ra, toodle pip.
Mirador Television believes that history is very important, particularly local history. And let's face it, Sussex has plenty of that. Our logo and mentor is a medieval knight. He's Sir Genry Southover, who fought in the Battle of Lewes in 1264. A bit tipsy today. A sculpture of his helmet stands proudly in the grounds of Lewes Priory. It symbolises the place where English democracy began when King Henry III was forced to sign an agreement with Simon de Montfort to give the barons more of a say in running the country. Genry appears regularly on Mirador Television with tales of the history of Lewes, stretching back to Roman times. Some of the stories are documented, others are from stories handed down in Genry's family. But his son, Sir Genry II, is also a great storyteller. He takes up where his father left off and relates some important historic passages of time in Lewes. One favourite is the story of the Peasants' Revolt of 1381. Britain had been devastated by the plague. The 100 Years' War with France was costly. Earning a crust became difficult, and the peasants didn't like it. Rumblings came from Kent that the workers were ready to rebel. The Archdeacon of Lewes, by the name of John Cordray, wanted to curry favour with Richard II, so he rode off to Kent to put the peasants in their place. He failed miserably. His servants were killed and he barely escaped with his life. Led by an ex-soldier, Wat Tyler, peasant army set off across England, burning and looting. They broke into the Tower of London and savaged the Archbishop of Canterbury's men in the cathedral itself. But when they got to Lewes, Genry relates, they found a huge amount of wine stored in the castle's cellar. They immediately went on a bender, and after a few days and a few empty barrels, staggered off to continue their raping and pillaging. But they left Lewes alone. So for a few glasses of Sussex bubbly, the town was spared. One little quirk in this tale is that they filched stones from the castle walls, and no one knows why. But with a chuckle, Genry says, that's where the phrase "to get stoned" came from. The rebellion ended badly for the peasants. They were defeated by the king's army and put to death. But their love of Sussex wine saved the town. As Genry says, Sussex wines were the best. And so they are still.
Ha 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 ha!